Okay, let's talk about the war. Maybe, I suppose, go through it vaguely chronologically. Do you believe that Tony Blair lied about the reasons for going to war? And let me just kind of qualify that question by saying, is it your view that Tony Blair knew that Saddam Hussein didn't have weapons of mass destruction and just made the whole thing up? Because there was a consensus in the international community, and that was evidenced by what happened in UN Resolution 1441, that everyone thought he did. Or did he just was the whole thing a fabrication?
Well, I think the truth lies somewhere in between those two poles. I think the best phrase I saw, and I forget now who said it, that every question mark was replaced by an exclamation mark, and every possible became a probable, and he became carried away by his own propaganda, which, as you know, in politics, believing your own propaganda is a very dangerous thing. Tony Blair is a very, you know this well as an able biographer of him, Tony Blair is a messianic figure. He's not like Gordon Brown, a kind of plodding policy wonk that calculates to the nth degree whether this should be done or that should be done, and maybe even whether this is in his interest or not. Blair, in one sense, is more likable because he isn't like that. He has messianic ideas that are grand and sweeping, and which I think are dangerous in a world leader, because you start to believe that the world can be reordered by the force of your personality and your beliefs. I had a conversation with him once. This is exclusive. Outside the gentleman's lavatory in the library corridor of the House of Commons, to be precise. Just me and him there. And in the course of predicting everything that actually did turn out in Iraq, I accused him of doing all this to please Bush. And he reacted. It was like a Rory Bremner moment. He said, "It's worse than that. I really believe in it." And, you know, I believed him. He really believed in it. The problem was what he believed in was completely wrong.
Well, that's interesting, because then you're saying that actually he wasn't Bush's poodle. He was signed up.
Yeah. I definitely believe he was not Bush's poodle. In fact, the relationship was much more like that of Mrs. Thatcher with Bush's father in relation to Gulf War I. This is not a moment to go wobbly, George. I feel sure that Tony Blair probably said things like that to George Bush. I really don't think he is the poodle. I have been unkind in the past and said he was the Monica Lewinsky, though I stopped saying that because I said it at the London School of Economics at a packed meeting about a year ago, and Miss Lewinsky was sitting in the 11th row of the audience. No, I don't think he was the poodle. I think he's co-architect, co-author, co-responsible, co-guilty.